We're going to go back to Keith now for another question and he asks, does top tier hotel status and its benefits dilute or negate some use cases of the bank's hotel programs and maybe even their premium high annual fee travel cards? You can buy top tier IHG, Hilton, and Marriott statuses, not titanium, but you can buy Marriott Platinum. They include some similar benefits that you can use year-round at more places. Hilton is now selling early check-in and late checkout for stays. I'm thinking about focusing more on co-branded cards going forward and cutting back on my high annual fee cards. Does it dilute or negate some of the use cases of the bank? I don't think it. I think it's two separate sets. If you are loyal to IHG or you're loyal to Hilton or you want to be loyal to Marriott or Hyatt or whoever, and you have the opportunity to buy the status that works for you in order to unlock whatever benefits you want to unlock, buy the status. Get the card that buys the status. If you want to be, if you want a travel portal that will treat you like a king or queen for a day, or 2 days, use the high annual fee travel card or now lifestyle card, be it from American Express, Capital One, or Chase, or use the high end booking platforms for the hotel of your choice because they're all going to give you the same sort of benefits as well. That's Bonvoy Stars, Hyatt Privé, Hilton Impresario, no, Hilton Virtuoso. You can go to classictravel.com. You can book those rooms at the same prices, at virtually the same prices, get the same benefits, early check-in, late checkout, $100 property credit, food and beverage credits, whatever. You can access the same things that FHR gives you, that the edit gives you, but it's a choice to do that. Whereas if you want to invest your time, invest your dollars, invest your energy, invest whatever you are investing into IHG, Hilton, Marriott, whatever, buy the status that's going to fit you best. That's going to be Marriott Platinum, Hilton Diamond, or IHG Platinum. You can also buy IHG Ambassador, which includes Platinum. It is what it is. And you can only buy Hyatt Discoverist because Hyatt wants you to work and pay them for Globalist, which is their choice. But if you want to go the co-branded route, you can go the co-branded route. You're only gonna save in terms of it's one card instead of holding two or three. But one high annual fee card versus three high annual fee cards, it maps out eventually. RJ, your thoughts here?
I think this has always been a problem and this has always been the dynamic, but the card annual fees have just gotten higher. I think when the card annual fees are down $200 from where they are or $300 from where they are, you don't think about it as much, right? If cards are $350 as an annual fee, you think about that naturally a little less than you do at $795. So I think some of this has just been we haven't thought as much because the math is a lot easier. Now that the math is getting harder, I think co-brands make more sense for people. I think that people are less in the mindset of, oh, I can't have a Hilton card because 5 Hilton points per dollar. I could do this jujitsu and like actually do this other way and get more. Just use the Hilton business and move on with your day. Like people are becoming more willing to try that or get hotel points or airline miles as their currency when they're using their cards. So I think there's that. I also think like co-brands are looked down on, not just for the points they give you, but just in general of like when we were talking about getting your first premium card, like you, and this is not a knock on Matt, but like his first thought was Platinum, CSR, Venture X, right? And then I brought in the Aspire and all of those other cards because those are just as premium in a lot of cases Honestly, a lot of times they have their own travel category, which the higher end cards don't necessarily have in the same way. Like you can get 7X on the Aspire for travel. You're not getting it at other hotels, but for airlines and rental cars and transit and things like that, where you're not going to get that, you're not getting 7X on anything else, right? And however you value Hilton points, that's not a bad return. So I think that co-brands are having more of a renaissance. It will be interesting if that renaissance continues, how those cards are changed because they are mostly how they are because not as many people get the top end version. A lot have the Hilton Honors or the Surpass. Not everybody has an Aspire. So as people go more to the highest end to get away from the sort of traditional three, it'll be interesting to see how they change. But I think focusing on co-brands is a good strategy for a good number of people, especially if you know your partners. I am Hilton and IHG and Delta are locks for me at this point. Like I am strapped into the cockpit, like ready for takeoff. Like I am not testing the waters on new partners, right? So for me, having those three cards, four if you count both Delta reserves, having those cards is a no-brainer. But if you're not sure on your partners, then yeah, a platinum or a CSR might make more sense. So it's also going to depend on where you are in your pick your partner's journey.
No, absolutely. Lonnie, your thoughts here.
I don't necessarily want to call it buying status, but more of a pay to play.
Sure.
Um, Now, does the top tier hotel status benefits dilute or negate some of the use cases of the banks? I personally don't think so as well. So I'm going to say no there because the way that I see it is not that it's a, I say, get this pay to play and get your top tier status. It's a shortcut for the price of an ecosystem, if you will. And
Hmm.
so when you get like a Hilton or a Marriott Brilliant, like, yes, Amex provides both of those cards. IHG has one of them, or Chase has the other in this question that is. They never intended for you to have all of them. Once again, it ain't made for us, this community, this group of people. It's for those that can find leverage in paying to play and getting that particular status. Let's, for example, I mentioned I got the IHG card because I worked for a company where they put us in intercontinentals every time we were out of the country. And I wanted to benefit from that. And so for the low cost of the annual fee of $99 a year, I got to benefit from that. Now, you can switch that brand with anything. I can switch it with Hilton. I can switch it with Marriott. I can switch it with Radisson Blue. I could switch it with Choice, whatever that is. And the answer is still the same. It's for the cost of the ecosystem, but take the business out of it. Take us as savvy and discerning credit card users out of it. Let's just go with the average American person where if I were to pay $550 or $650 for a credit card that gave me top tier status, you best be believing I'm going to probably prioritize that hotel chain. And I think that's why the banks necessarily do it. And so yeah, if you're going to get the Marriott Brilliant card, you're going to stay at Marriott. Once again, not including us, where we travel so much and we can stay so many places, and we know all these tips, tricks, hacks, back doors to get around all of that. No, that's not for us. And no, I don't think it dilutes. It doesn't negate anything from the banks because you have to look at it from a lens of we are not the majority. We are the drop in the bucket of people that are gaming the system in a positive way for ourselves versus the people that don't. The majority is the people that don't have the education that we have or the experiences that we share across our community, in which we know that, oh yeah, pay 550. I guarantee you're going to get more value than that. How we define value, you know how I feel about that. You're going to get more value than that back. Pay 650. You're going to get more value than that back. I've I've disclosed I pay over $3,000 a year across all of my credit cards. Just mine, not even my wife's, just mine. I pay over $3,000 a year. And you best believe I get more than $3,000 in value back. Almost, I'm not going to say every single trip, but you add them all up, I get way more than $3,000 in value back every single year. And that's what it's actually about. So I also understand going to a more co-branded card focus, especially in this Chase Amex battle of ecosystem world, because I talked about it. I'm thinking about doing it too. That could be my option. Go back to how it all started for me and get my United card and keep my hotel cards and screw these transferable point cards and with their high annual fees. I feel you, Keith. I might be there. I might be right behind you in line asking, can I borrow your pen so I can sign the cancellation form? I might be right there. I don't know if I'm going to be there. We'll see that out at the end of the year. But either way, the thing is that you can make a strategy that works. You can still figure out something that works. The same way with, if you're going to go co-branded, do you have to get the highest annual fee card? No. Like, you can get Marriott Gold and Hilton Gold status literally 6 different ways. And it costs you barely anything outside of maybe some spend with another company or another brand or something like that. If that. But I will say it like this. It's not necessarily a bad thing. And it's definitely not one of those situations where, because everybody has Hilton Diamond status, nobody has it, because there's not a lot of people out there signing up for a Hilton Aspire card. As much as people staying at Hilton, that is, globally, not just in the US. So you're okay there. But of course, do the best decision that's for you. If cutting back is the best decision, but I won't necessarily say because it's a high annual fee card, because you're doing the pay to play, it's diluting or negating anything from the bank or the hotel programs. It's just a tool or a resource to enhance your travel. For example, just using that as I finish up here, the Marriott Brilliant card, or even like an IHG, I'm not staying 40 nights. I'm just not. No. I can't tell you I stay 40 nights in a hotel all year. Maybe, because I do take a lot of personal trips that last about a week. So maybe I can get 40 nights, but 40 nights in a single brand, that's definitely not happening for me. And so for me, it is a tool. It is a resource that I see how I define my value. That is, it is a tool. It is a resource in which enhances my particular travel, and screw the banks. The banks get my money on the annual fee anyway. And every time I swipe my card. So I honestly, screw them. I'm going to milk them for every penny I can get.
Yep. I will say though, just remember, whatever hotel you're in, if everyone's that top status, no one's that top status.
And if you don't give a damn about being upgraded because you bought the room you wanted anyway, you don't have to worry about it.
Very true. Always get the room that you want.
Yep.
Hilton Free Night Awards aren't as all they're cracked up to be, because they're only standard rooms. So it's great for a weekend trip or something like that. Or if y'all are just solo dolo,
building your trip around expecting a major
building your relationship. If it's just 2 of y'all, the second you get a kid and you need a second room, first you need a pull-out couch. First, you need a crib. You need space for the rollaway bed crib.
Yep.
Then you need a king bed because they co-sleep sometimes and they're in a strange place.
Yep.
Then you need the pull-out couch.
Yep.
Then you need the double room.
Yep.
Now you need the room in it with the pull-out couch. So as you can tell, about that third tier, that free night certificate is almost worthless unless we're doing like a weekend trip. I'm speaking for a friend, of course.
I appreciate my desire not to have children just being reinforced every week on this podcast. I love being an aunt, but dear God, if I had to travel with children, I'd be in an insane asylum. I'd have Harley Quinn as my psychiatrist.
And don't do that.
I'm only bringing it up because I know tangent. I'm classic for tangents. RJ's gonna get me, and behind the members only paywall probably, but because I'm looking into another trip and I'm booking it, and like I said, if it's one night, say we're going on a cruise the night before a cruise, whatever, use get a studio room. We're only going to be there a couple of hours, and then we're all out in the morning. But for longer trips, I'm not going to risk not getting the upgrade. It's not worth the risk to just say, I'm going to book this room and assume I'm entitled to an upgrade. Because when it doesn't happen, you're going to feel really salty. Yeah, just get the room that you want. But I wouldn't recommend if you need unless you need multiple rooms. But if you're going to put your whole family in one room, the free night certificates don't really do much for you because all the rooms that you would need would be premium anyway, and those don't count towards it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love
I'm
me a
not saying
standard
they're
room.
bad. I'm just saying make sure you know what you want and can this get you what you want.
Yes. Yep. Free night certificates, not all they're cracked up to be. Anyway, thanks, Keith, on that one.